Hey everyone, it's Laura from The Real Laura B here on YouTube and Twitter. And I have had a crazy, crazy day. I was all relaxed, got some chores done, had some lunch, and then so much has just now happened. I can't wait to share with everybody. I've got some links. I'm not going to be reading articles. I think I want to interchange with you guys more and just get the gist of stuff and what's been happening this month for our good old Johnny Depp. It's been amazing things. Let me get my little intro out of the way for the replay and we can get started. Hang in there.
Hi, I'm Laura, also known as The Real Laura B from Twitter and now here on YouTube. I'm a researcher, new wave internet media, and commentator. I'm not a lawyer nor offering any legal advice. Join me on a journey to review the world of celebrity lawsuits and current events. Let's get started.
Hey, Sunshine Secret, thank you for mods. And Sunshine, I understand that you have to just listen tonight. That's great. I'm so glad you all are here. We have a nice little group. It's growing. I just reminded everybody to come over. It's an unusual time for me. Notifications are still messed up, really messed up. It's not just me. It's many of the Johnny Depp YouTubers. For some reason, they are just not. Well, they're suppressing us. That's what it is. People are not getting notifications. I think the best thing you can do is just try and go back to that bell. Some people said that YouTube had an update and your bell might still look like it's on, but if you click on it, it says personalized. So you have to, wait, if I'm not on live chat? Oh, shoot, I'm on. Remember to switch to live chat. I should be on. Anyway, sorry, I just got sidetracked there for a second. Yeah, apparently if your bell is on, it needs to be personalized and you have to check up all the things, all the notifications, which is sad because it's really dropped down quite a bit. And I like being here. I like doing this. Hey, Raul, thank you for coming in. I got some amazing news, guys. It's been a crazy morning. Out of the blue, I got this amazing invite from Andy Sigmore, Popcorn Planet. And yes, we'll be going to Vegas for Johnny's show November 4th. I'm not saying we're going to see it. We're going to see the concert and we're going to be live streaming and it's going to be a great and amazing weekend. And I am so excited. And this just happened. So I'm like, whoa, how to get that all organized. But yeah, Vegas. I'm so excited. I get to see Johnny again. So this is really cool. Hey, Marianne, thank you for coming in. Gil, where are we coming from? We're all over, aren't we? You guys were talking before I came in. I lost track of y'all. But yeah, with Andy, that was so sweet of him. Thank you, Andy. His benefactor said, hey, I think Andy reached out and said, hey, I've got this person I would love to invite. And yeah, they've made some arrangements for me. I've made some arrangements for myself. And it's a win-win situation. I was able, oh my God, getting concert tickets is terrible. I had to do my best to finagle a ticket, and most of them are only being sold in pairs. And it's just me by myself. So I had to finagle and wiggle and refresh and check around. And I finally was able to find a single ticket. So I don't have to worry about buying two and selling one or whatever. But I am so excited. So I will be live streaming with them. That's part of the event Friday before the concert and Saturday for many hours. And I'm just thrilled because I'm not a gambler. So the last thing I need to do is go out to the gambling floors. I'd rather be there with friends that I meet online. I get to meet in person. And I'm thrilled to death. Thrilled to death. I'm letting everybody come in. We're building up. It's nice. I've been to Vegas like years ago. Let me tell you how it works with my husband. He's been there in conventions or something. I gamble in the morning and then he gambles in the afternoon to try and win back everything I lose because I'm just very unlucky. And we know that. So I get a set amount of money. I lose it. And in the afternoon, he tries to win it back. So, yeah, I'm really excited. There's a ton of people there. There's going to be a bunch of fan meetups, and then we'll be live streaming and stuff. So, oh, thank you, Nicole. I so appreciate you. Everything helps, especially now. So I have been buying more documents and some of my coverage that I've been doing now with Johnny Depp's lawsuit. We'll be talking about that a little bit. Amber Heard's insurance now is going protective order, and some of the documents I've had to buy there. Arianda Jacob, I am presenting her case. I may have to buy some of those documents. So far, I've been able to grab them for free. And I just think her case is so important that affects all of us on Twitter and YouTube. Us, when I say us, our new wave media journalists, our new, what did Elon just citizen journalist, Elon just called us, and he's supposed to be promoting us. So we'll see. Yes, Nate, the lawyer, is going to be there. Woo! I'm going to meet him. Chris Melchner. I'm so excited. So I'm just thrilled that this is all coming together. And yeah. So thanks. Love your work. Never want to change. Thank you. You want to be like me? Oh, you're so kind. Yes, I'm so thrilled. And yes, Raul Nate will be there. Who am I missing? Amanda says, yay, from Scotland. My mouse just died. I had to do a plugin. I had to do old-fashioned plugin, and like this literally just happened. Like I have no touch board on this, and let's just get started. Yay, Lexington, Kentucky. Awesome, Deborah. North Carolina. Yeah, we're all Southern girls. I'm Southern at heart. Thank you, Marianne. I was a New Yorker, and a lot of my family's still up there, but I knew I always had a Southern soul. I love it. That living down here in the South, I love the heat. It's been great. Finland's, yay! Yes, I hung out with Tiffany and Becca and Teresa at the courthouse. Teresa's from, I want to say Portugal. Where'd she come from? I just went blank. And she was not there, but I was with Tiffany and Becca. Yeah, we had a great thing. Thank you so much, Karadan. I so appreciate it. It is a huge help for me. Even Finland loves Laura. Thank you. Oh, you got a notification. Great. Late coming in. Louisiana. I love it. So we're going to do a little bit more casual talk. I'm still going to share the articles. And I'm going to start off with the best one, the fun one. Johnny has just done the Sirius XM interviews. And I have those. I have to share them a certain way. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear them. They've present. They have now changed stuff. So let's see, Chrome tab. Yeah. So Johnny and Jeff were just on Sirius XM. They did an interview. I loved it. He seemed so relaxed. Let me unhide this. He seemed so relaxed and enjoying it. And God, does he look good. He looks like a baby face there. He just looks exceptional. I know someone was there to do his hair and makeup, but they looked awesome. And they gave their interviews, and it was on Sirius XM Underground Garage Channel 21. And it is being rebroadcast. So it's still being rebroadcast if you have a chance, but they have slowly but surely uploading it to the Sirius XM YouTube. So if you're not a subscriber to XM Radio, there's uploading snippets. These are what do they call them? Unpublished or private ones. But we do have a few, and I'll try and show them. I'm always got to be careful with, that CR tax. So excited. So I'm picking the ones where he's laughing.
He was honorary man of the year at the Music Cares, and they said, please come and play with the Brian Wilson by any one of Brian's songs. I didn't come properly prepared, and on the flight over I learned I can't remember
the song.
And they said, okay, great, do you want to hear us play it first? And they played this magnificent rendition. I went, right, that's the end of that. And then I foolishly started playing Surf's Up. They went, that's it, go away and learn it. So I spent 8 hours solid learning it in bed, driving my missus crazy. And I thought, and it went really well, the standing ovation. And they said, oh, Brian wants to meet you. And I went, oh, man, this is it. This is the payoff. And he went, that was really pretty. And he went straight past. That was it. I turned around and followed him. I thought, you're not going to bollocks, Is that it? That was really pretty. Heartbroken. Shattered.
Didn't even
done.
look at you. Not a glance.
I didn't know that
that was a.
I'm going to do parts of them because you can go back. I'm going to put all the links at the bottom. If I do too much, that's when I could get myself in trouble. But oh my God, that laugh. Wasn't that amazing? This is the Johnny is coming back slowly. It's been grueling for him. It's been exhausting, but we're having some fun with it, or he's finally having some fun with it here in a
Suzette Smith.
casual
Are you here
place.
somewhere? You out there? There she is.
Oh, wait.
Hello, Suzette, in the front row.
You're on the other side of the
Oh.
glass.
Suzette asks, what has been the best part being back on tour in Europe and the U.S.?
For me, Jeff very simply and kindly, and his Jeff and his wife Sandra just took me in to their house, and I lived with them for months and months and months, and then we went on the first tour together. And so for me, having had to deal with other things at the same time, once those things, are down the road and you drop into the tour, well, you it's like you're home, and you feel at home, like where I can actually be me.
Vegetarian food. That time, but I looked in the bin once and there was a McDonald's wrapper. Where did that come from?
He got him. Raul, thank you so much. That is so appreciated, sweetheart. I love it. Thank you. I'm glad you're joining in. I'm doing snippets of these because, again, they can get me in trouble. Talking about the blues. Now, I did go to the concert, and the first half of the concert is quite different than the second half. The first half is Jeff being the master he is on his guitar. I want to describe it in two ways. Some of his songs, he just makes that guitar sing like a voice. There's nobody singing the lyrics, but you can hear them in your head the way he plays it so beautifully. And the other part of the concert, his style, is that jam session, that just unbelievably magnificent guitarist that he is. And then the second half, when Johnny comes on, he's singing lyrics, and it's a kind of a mixed genre. It's not just the blues. They transition a bit.
I made the mistake of saying, do you want to do a blues album? And he went, no, anything but blues.
You said no.
I love the blues.
I thought, oh dear,
I
I
can't
just
say-
trod in it.
What am I going to do with the blues, man? That somebody else ain't done.
I understand.
Like,
It was a metaphor for a more wider, genre album.
Right.
This is just a saying, do you want to make a blues album?
Yeah,
Although he took it the wrong way.
he just no, he was, but he was because he was listening to things that were outside, really outside. He's listening to everything, and both of us were listening to, everything from, like really obscure stuff like Napoleon Strickland, Key to the Bushes, and then we'd be listening to Bauhaus, or we'd be listening to Killing Joke, or Deanne Ford. So we really explored a lot of just having kept our ears to the ground a bit. Just tried to sort of create something that was, I had a different approach, I suppose, especially for Jeff's. It was a very unexpected record, I think.
It started with
For Jeff,
down in New York French house
yeah,
when Johnny was a late riser,
You think?
Yes.
Oh,
and I thought, let's
Uh,
steal this drum kit from out of the office. He had a little sort of office where he worked, but the drum kit was penned in this little alcove.
four
And
of them
me and
stole
my-
it. I didn't wake up once.
So we dragged the kit from there to the main house just to see if it sounded, use the room sound. And it sounded like a Motown drum sound, which is, the holy grail of drum sounds. And I laid down a track with my engineer guy who, when he heard about Johnny, he came down there about 400 miles an hour.
Thank
So
you.
keen was he to
thank
get there.
you.
And I said, put on Ooh Baby by Miracles. And I played along the drum part. And we made it, we tricked it up a bit because I was a bit out of time, but the sound was pretty good. And I put the bass on and then the rhythm guitar and then just a little solo. And then he came in and went, what the fucking hell's this? We'd already started.
He did awesome. And that is not done in the concert, but I have the album here. And when Ooh Baby came on, I was like, oh my God, that's Johnny's falsetto back there. It was amazing. It was amazing. This was sad, doing this song, and he talks about his detox.
Death and Resurrection. That was his fault.
It was it was a song. Amazingly, it was a song that was released in 1980 by a band called Killing Joke. Who were
Didn't you play it to
very,
him?
very
He
good.
laughed.
Huh?
He played it to him and he laughed. I went, nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But I mean, it's such an intense song. It was a really important song for me. Like after I'd had my little stint with kind of a interesting addiction to painkillers, and coming off of those, kicking the opiates.
I had no
I
knowledge of
remember
this.
sitting in I remember sitting in a chair, this chair for about 5 days, listening to Death and Resurrection show on a loop, and I just sat there, sort of holding on, like.
Wow.
And there's something about that song that's very, very, I don't know,
It's about the most-
personal, powerful. Yeah,
It is. It's those climbing chords are about as heavy as you could ever get.
Yeah.
Wow. Quite a different story than the way Amber was relating it when she was talking about it. Thank you so much, Chris. That's so appreciated. And I'm glad to get back to this Friday. It's been wild. I wasn't sure we could talk about because it was really Johnny's concerts every week that was building up and a lot of other garbage. But so I decided to do this month review instead. So so they are putting them out on YouTube bit by bit. There's another one that just came out. I forget what he was talking about. It was really cute. So check the Sirius XM official YouTube video and see what they're releasing. And then, of course, if you have the subscription, they are still broadcasting the actual, and it's just the radio version, so it won't be a video. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he is getting some great reviews. You just know the way the mainstream media is. They just love to hate Johnny. That's sadly, I don't think that's ever going to change, but he is getting some great, great reviews. Thank you so much. Love you never change, D. Am I going to visit with Popcorn Planet? Yes. Yes. And it is a great transformation from him. 6 years, 3 months ago. Good to see him happy again. My work helped a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a truly big help. Incredible man to talk about. Yeah, this is great. Jeff was an amazing savior. He was an amazing friend. The people, important people stepped up for Johnny. And a lot of these people we never hear about, right? But they're not there trying to post Instagrams of Johnny all the time. But we remember we saw a few of them, fan photos in the area where we knew Jeff lived. So we had a pretty good idea that he had been staying there with Jeff. They'd been writing. So it was really cathartic and great for him. And they talked about that they did go to Johnny's friend's place for a while. And that was really nice. Yeah. I tell you, those things can come up and grab you. And I can appreciate what he was saying about listening to the music, because I know one of the greatest ways I've been through a car accident and stuff years ago. Sometimes the best pain relief is diversion, to get some other sensory overload going. So I can see how that music would help. Listening to audiobooks, loud TV, something that would help you, again, sensory overload, take away from what you're feeling elsewhere. So yeah, Beck is so nice. I'm having a great group coming in here. I'm loving it. Yeah, I can't imagine having to detox with her absolute control, denying his medicine. Okay, I understand maybe it wasn't due yet, but then you need to talk his doctors who are available saying, hey, this is where we're at. He's in crisis and he needs something. Can I give this a little earlier? Is there something else we should do? Instead of going, nope, you can't have these, suffer. What is this? Wash hands. So happy, Laura. Elbow cough. Vanessa, I don't get it. Is there something going on? Vegas, so excited. He's so happy. Well, he's been Peter Pan forever. He was bound to start showing his age, but damn it, he looks pretty damn good. Amazingly go out there and look at a 59-year-old, 60-year-old man. Half of them are losing their hair. He's wonderful. Oh, your dog. Everyone needs to hang out at McDonald's near Jeff. 50 miles away. Yeah, Jeff, they're vegetarian. Sandra's on Twitter. I see her posting a lot. But anyway, let's just take a look at. I have to present this separately. Let's take a look at this. And I think this is a fair review. A guitar hero and a Hollywood star deliver everything their adoring fans could hope for and more. I'm not going to read the whole thing. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times. So this is where they've gotten the groove going. They're in there. They're enjoying themselves. And they're really melded together. State Street might as well have been Hollywood Boulevard on Sunday night as a flock of Jack Sparrows, Johnny Depp lookalikes, and other anxious fans piled up the Chicago theater, where the actor joined guitar star Jeff Beck for a sold-out show to promote the duo's collaborative new album, 18. It was named 18 because Sandra says that's how they were acting while they were writing it, that they were just found their youth, and they called it 18. And Sandra drew. Just Beck's wife drew the illustration, watching them practice and write it. Depp was announced as Beck's special guest, and that's important because this is the Jeff Beck official concert tour, and Johnny is his guest. He had other guests early on when Johnny was filming. Thank you, Bo. I so appreciate it. It will buy a document, and it will certainly help me in Vegas for sure. For sure. So he has been a special guest, and that's important to note. Some people forget that this is really Jeff Beck's show. Beck began the night on his own merits, the two-time Rock and Roll Hall of Famer hitting the stage amid a standing ovation from his fans, no doubt diehard since his Yardbird days. Absolutely. I can tell when we were in DC, there were a lot of people that didn't even know Johnny Depp was going to be performing. Now, granted, that was the first concert that Johnny finally officially announced he'd be at because of his filming schedule. So a lot of people, when they were buying tickets, Johnny Depp's name was not on the ticket. I don't think he was on the ticket when I bought it. So anyway, he played he delivered 11 songs of pure instrumental glory. It was amazing. Seamlessly transitioning through the decades for various material like Free Ray Jam, Loose Cannon, Star Cycle. Beck's performance was a masterclass on the guitar from one of music's greatest players. Even sans vocal, he captivated the audience by speaking to them through the stringed vessel, showing his dramatic and emotive side. And this is exactly how I felt and exactly how I just explained it. It's also, if not also this breadth it can accomplish from straight up blues to prog rock to jazz fusion. Of course, he was not alone in his task, supported by phenomenal backing band, including bassist Rhonda Smith. She's on Instagram. She's been posting some pictures. Drummer Anika Niles and keyboardist Robert Stevenson, who were ambassadors of their instruments. It's just a great show. When it was time for Depp's entrance on song 12, he does come in toward the end. Down went many of the classic Beck fans. That's not true. That didn't happen on us. Everybody was there enjoying it, who took their seats and paused the hooting and hollering that had created the air of rough-hewn blues club just moments prior, and up went a sea of celebrity gawkers lighting up the aisles with their glow of their paparazzi smartphones while screaming a chorus of I Love You, Johnny. Okay, yeah, that did happen. that did happen. But people were filming from the beginning. Over a near 60-year career, Beck has worked alongside with the likes of Buddy Guy, Rod Stewart, Beth Hart, Ronnie Wood. The list goes on, but Depp is perhaps one of his most eclectic choices, especially in the wake of the actors. Oh my God, they always have to add it in there, don't they? Don't they? In fact, Depp's first appearance with Beck was at a show in the UK in late May when they were deliberating. I'm trying to skip some of this stuff. So the album has been in the works for 3 years. The two met in 2016 and found a kinship in music. And I love, he talks about that on Sirius. Trying to keep up with you all here. The duo performed much of it during the second half of the night. That's the album. And Beck took on vocal duty and shifted between electric and acoustic guitars. There was a gripping take on John Lennon's Isolation, a ripped rendition of the Velvet Underground's Venus and Furs that showed off Depp's lower register, and a punchy boot-stomping offering of Killer Joke's great track, Death and Resurrection Show. There was also original material like The Bittersweet, This Is a Song for Miss Hedy Lamarr, a song about the pitfalls of fame that, not surprisingly, was Depp's most vulnerable moment. Though the actors played a swashbuckler, a murderous barber, and an off-kilter Candyman, and a sweet soul with scissors for hands in films, portraying himself on a live stage in a place where he really shines, a fact some might forget. Before he was ever a crybaby, Depp was a musician who dropped out of high school to pursue rock stardom. I think that's an amazing review, to recognize his music, that he is accomplished and he is really good at it, because people like Joe Perry, Alice Cooper, Jeff Beck, they wouldn't want to be playing with him. And he's been invited by many to play with them when he can jam. Silver Screen may have gotten in the way of the pursuit, but Depp has since found his way back in recent years with the Hollywood Vampire supergroup. And they now also have released their tour coming up in the UK and Europe. Depp clearly has a staunch fan base, all too ready to give him a rock and roll resurrection on this night, begging for autographs mid-show, vying for coveted guitar picks, and waiting outside by tour buses for the peek at the star. That kind of stuff makes people feel 18 again, right? It was nice. It was really nice. Yeah, let me catch up. He's just done a movie too. I think he had to gain weight. I don't know if he had to gain weight. I don't know. He's been through so much stress. Let's face it. I think he's also trying to do what's healthy for him. Yeah. So I just think he's doing fabulous. I mean, nobody at 59 is going to weigh the same or have the same body type they did in their 30s. It's just not possible or reasonable. And Amber Heard's a perfect example. You can see the changes in her in just 10 years. She's also completely changed body mass wise. And I'm not saying she's fat or heavy. I'm just saying you change. You just do. Yeah, we'll see what she looks like at 59. It's disgusting the way they're attacking Johnny, especially this latest with the damn red cups. They're all over the tabloids on Johnny with a red drink cup. He must be partying. And then Amber Heard's holding her sleeping baby while she's going through a wine shot. But, that's cute. Don't get me started. I worked at Jeff's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. He's an icon. Yeah. I hear he's a very, very sweet, gracious man. I think Johnny finally looks his age. Still good. Yeah, that's okay. Let him age. I think that's the worst of it, where people just won't let it happen. It happens directly from the stress. I don't know. I don't know. We don't see a lot of candid shots from Johnny. He's very often attending events where he's been coiffed, and I think we see that little difference there in Sirius. Someone who loves you doesn't want you to suffer when you ask for medication to get through, and it's clear that person needs it. You want them to have it. She wanted control and enjoyed hurting him. Yeah, at least pick up the damn phone and call the nurse or doctor who were available and say, hey, what should I do? He's in pain. No different than the kitchen, because she snuck up on him. He was obviously in pain, and she was so much wanting to catch him rather than run in there and say, oh my God, what's happened? It must be terrible. What can I do? What can I do? Because we know that there was no abuse. He looks great. I think he looks great. Vanessa's talking about what? Johnny came by and you were to trip him to get him into your... Oh, okay. The red comments got on my nerves. Look, that is the go-to portable drink, throwaway drink. These are back areas of concert venues. They're not having glassware for pretty much. That's what you put out, whether it's for a Diet Coke, even for a glass of wine. That's what you're drinking out of these things. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. Yeah, let's go on with something else. So, whoops, I'm going to have to actually, this isn't going to work this way. I forget about that. When I have audio, I do have to share it in a special way. And sometimes I'll forget. I don't want to mess it up for you guys. And so Greg Williams just came out with something, and he did his own little montage for Johnny. And most of this is, well, I think all of this is when he was in Europe doing the Jeff Beck tour right after the verdict. And he's just got so much energy and so much relief. And he was having such a good time to be out of that courtroom and get back to his life. So let's take a look at this.
You that?
I am that. Jeff is this.
Is it?
He's this, I'm that.
What's your relationship with Jeff?
We are connected.
I felt the same thing. There was a couple who very much helped to keep me alive and sane and happy through the weirdness, and that's Jeff and Sandra.
Really? How many hours sleep do you get in a night?
I probably average around 3.
A night?
Yeah, probably around 3, 4. Because at night, when everything is like, you know, when the circus ain't around you at work and you're alone. So the fucking circus commences, and you deal with it. But the circus helps because it's just a whole lot of thinking. So you just write.
Can you tell me something about Hedy Lamarr song?
The Eddie Lamar track.
Yeah.
I watched this documentary called Bombshell, and I was decimated by it. It had such a profound effect on me. She was a very strong woman, and really inspiring. All her life and what was allowed to be done to her and such. And at the time, I'd become a Quasimodo in the eyes of the media and the public and all that. Of course, you know, you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself as well. But you find these kind of connections. I finished the lyrics at about 6:30, 7:30 in the morning. You know, ran up to the studio, bang, we recorded them. Once you've connected on some sort of level and you become that tight,
Look at him laugh.
you practically don't have to say anything. It's an eyeball glance, and you're both on the floor laughing. I'm lucky to only have the things that I have to think about. You know, I was able to spit it out in kind of, you know, spit out the venom in at least sort of creative ways.
Incredible, yeah.
You know?
Used it.
He used it, which is really what this whole thing is all about. I mean, what acting is really, you know, just use it, whatever it is. I sent a very cheeky text to Jeff and said, hey, don't think that I'm asking you to play on this, because I'm really not. Don't feel any pressure at all. I'm just sending you this song that I wrote. Of course, if you wanted to play on it, that's fine, but I'm not saying you should, and I'm not asking you to, because I wouldn't do that to our friendship. Send him the track with that, and then I got a text back that said, fuck, send me the stems, you fucker, or something.
That's Greg Williams. He is a photographer. He's been in Johnny's life for a very, very long time. He's done a lot of photos of him and of Lily Rose and Vanessa, for that matter. So it's triumphant. It really is. I was so thankful that I was able to go to his concert to see him in his element. You know, nobody's directing him. You know, nobody's writing for him. It's a definite collaboration when he comes on with Jeff. And I'm just so happy. And then to be able to go to Vegas again. I want to touch on something. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I just need people to be aware. I saw a lot of comments, a lot of people very upset that Johnny's not being as available to his fans in this leg of the tour as he was previously. I don't know if something's happened. Maybe it has. We did see a video of him getting off a bus and somebody yelling justice for Amber Heard. We have to understand security is very serious, and there are people out there who look quite normal and reasonable for whatever reason they'll just flip. They'll just, somebody you would never expect. You're signing autographs with a fan, and the most horrible thing possible can happen. And I'm not going to dwell on this. I just want a reminder that his team is doing what they can, because it happens. Celebs who were killed by their own fans, and yet we have mainstream media pushing this vitriolic reporting and social media saying the most terrible things about Johnny and wishing the most terrible things on him. And these, I'll link this to the bottom, but I'm not going to get into it. But let's face it, the Beatle member was one of the most peaceful people in the world, with songs like Imagine calling for humanity to unite. However, in 1980, tragedy struck when a fan came to Lennon when he arrived at his home asking for his autograph, which Lennon agreed to give. But he turned to walk away. The fan shot Lennon in the back 4 times, dying on his way to the hospital. You cannot take Johnny's safety less than serious. And I'm sorry, and I was there when you wait in line forever and you pray when he comes out of that hotel room or door that he's going to turn left to your side to sign for you, or right. It's just the luck of the draw. But then there's times where we have to recognize that there could be some serious danger for him. He came out winning this trial, and there are some people who just didn't want that to happen. And the vitriol that is being pushed by mainstream media and on social media, his safety has to come first. And I hope people take a step back and are just so incredibly thankful that they could get to the concert, that they could get a glimpse of him getting off the bus as long as you waited. I can tell you my experience in DC. It was the first show in the States. Maybe they didn't know what to, this is quite possible, actually. Maybe they didn't know what to expect, but having said that, sequel, it doesn't have to be a gun. It could be a shiv. It could be something you get that close and some pushing and shoving, and it could be any way. But I remember when we were hanging around because we had time to kill, and our hotel was right near the venue, and it was a very small boardwalk area to walk around. It wasn't like Chicago or New York, some of these big cities. It was when we were sitting there eating lunch or having a drink right next to where his bus was. We could see it. So if you can imagine the building, they had like this long entrance for like loading dock, massive loading dock. So they had his big tractor trailer backed in where they were going to take off his equipment. They had a tour bus back in to this side of the building. So we had this diagonal truck and then the bus. Johnny and Jeff were not on that bus as far as we know, or could have been Jeff. But then Johnny's bus came in right up next to this one, blocked by this one. So we couldn't even see him getting off. That's how secure they were being. Oh, and also the venue people had blockaded once the buses came in, and they blockaded both ends and pushed us back. So I mean, we could hardly even get pictures. So the safety has been their top priority. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And I think we have to respect that. And as disappointing as it is, because Johnny has always been the most available celebrity to his fans. And stuff is happening, and we need to protect him. We need to protect Johnny as much as his security does. And that's when, if you're in a group, you need to be mindful around you when you hear people talking, like that person who yelled justice for Amber. Just be mindful if you're in these things, look around. Yeah, they need to protect him in the way they're doing it. And Sean heard it. Sean heard, you could see his face on that video. He heard it and grabbed Johnny and pulled him in and said, "You're not signing." Because I think they had the barricade set up like he was going to sign. And I think as soon as Sean heard that, he grabbed Johnny and he rushed him. And Johnny goes, "No, wait, what do you do? I'll come back out. I'll come back out after," he said. "I'm going to do sound check." And they basically said, "You're not going back out there. There's an unfriendly out there," basically. Yeah. I saw those tweets. I was going to bring them up. I'm just going to, I didn't want to give them attention, but I don't know how much, they're going to show it with tomatoes or eggs or whatever, how real it is. Probably not real for them, but the fact that they're putting it out there, putting those ideas out there. Yeah, we need to protect Johnny. Safety first. I know it's disappointing. I know it is. Safety first. People leaning up against the bus. One woman was yelling into the door. It was just too much. I heard at the last venue, at my venue, they threw things on the stage at the end, like a bra and a teddy bear. But apparently it got out of hand that they were throwing things on the stage while he was singing, and they were notes and they were a bra. I mean, it wasn't anything that was aggressive, but it's during a performance. And then it was realized, well, if people think they can throw stuff, they can think they can throw anything. So they put a box out, I think, at the last concert that people could drop off things in the box, and they're going to go through them for security and then give them to Johnny. But these are the times we're in. I mean, when Johnny won his court case, I thought that would be it. This one guy pushed ahead and was kind of rude. He ended up getting a picture with some guy later. I couldn't believe it. He was a celebrity stalker. Yeah. Johnny's not always aware. You know, he's pushed and shoved. He's very concentrated. It's up to Sean and whoever else his security is with him on this different legs. They're also not his normal security. I've seen a couple new faces that they brought on, and they're focused around him, and he's not as focused around himself. That's not his job. So his safety does come first. Absolutely. Oh, they care about him. Yeah, you're right. They're his family. Even though he's got some new people, they care about him. And the venue, as rude as they can be, because I think they are some of the rude people, because they were pretty staunch with us. They do this for every group. They don't care who you are. They're there to do a job. They're there to make sure nothing happens on their watch. And they do it all night, every night, for different celebrities, for different bands. And that's their job. So, and they're not always so nice. Johnny's team is pretty much nice. Okay, just got a notification. See, it's all messed up. All right, let's see what else we got. So Johnny is embroiled in another lawsuit, sadly. I did a video on that, and I'm just going to touch base on it because I think it's completely disingenuous by this guy. And that's what I wanted to touch on. This is from the Buffalo News. So what has happened is Jeff and Johnny have released their album, and on it is a song called Sad MF Parade. On the jacket, I've got it here. It's listed Beck/Depp, which is typically where you give credit for the song. And it talks about who's on the guitar, who's on bass, rhythm, keyboards. Even Johnny's playing the keyboards. Wow. Programming, vocals, engineered, additional engineering. So his name is listed. And this person took offense to it because apparently he did some interviewing with African-American, it happened to be hobos and people in jail, and they were talking about their history, and this toast came up. And he even said, the guy, Willie Slim, I think it is, who was incarcerated 50 years ago, said it was a toast his father handed down to him. It wasn't even something he wrote. And this guy, Jackson, has it, and he put it in a book, and now he's trying to claim copyright. And he's done it through an interview with Rolling Stones. Well, that hurt the reputation of Johnny and Jeff. And then he apparently sent some demand letters. Demand letters means I want action and probably money. So they investigated, and they decided to answer his demand letter with the lawsuit, which is a declaratory judgment by the judge saying, hey, judge, can you decide this for us? It's not like a damages for defamation claim. They're just saying, hey, we've got a dispute here. They sent us demand letters. Will you look at all the evidence and decide for us? And in our prayer for relief, yeah, we're asking for whatever damages you think are just and fair and our cost, because their reputation has been hurt. And they're in a situation where if this was being interviewed and going on, and if they didn't do something about it, their reputation was going to be hurt over and over. So they decided, it's Slim Wilson, legacy of Slim Wilson, not Willie Slim, Slim Wilson. So just picking up with this article, this is from the Buffalo News. Jackson said a simple change in the liner notes acknowledging the song's origin would have settled this matter. Well, we did not see the copies of the demand letters. I think there's more to it than that. In fact, he asked for money. He said he was going to donate the money toward organizations that could help the African-American storyline. Well, who have we heard that's offered to donate and didn't follow through? And it's interesting that he doesn't designate who these people are. Jackson and Jackson, so his family members of this law firm of Bruce Jackson, who is a professor, defense counsel told the News, this is the Buffalo News, that Depp's team never reached out regarding the latest lawsuit. Rather, representatives from tabloid website TMZ alerted the firm of the Depp Beck complaint. Well, he initiated it. He sent the demand letters. This is their answer. Depp and Beck are represented by Brown Rudnick. In fact, you will know that it was Wayne Dennison who wrote up the claim. And one of the reasons I'm including this, Jackson & Jackson stated its intention to file a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. So they want to dismiss. So they're sending these demand letters. Now they're going to have their day in court. They can get this all settled. And they're like, no, we're going to file for the dismissal. What does that reek of, people? Right? What does it reek of? It's a cash grab. And this guy could have followed through. He has these demand letters, and they're saying, okay, we're going to have a judge decide. And he's like, oh, no, I want this dismissed. He wants to continue to go on promoting his cause, promoting himself, promoting his book, and on the backs of harming their reputation. And what choice have they got? Right? What choice have they got? So yeah, a claim has been made. It's been accepted. They're going to have to file their answer, and I'll be covering that in other videos. And that I did cover it in a video. And the Rolling Stones broke the story, and then they broke a follow-up in which that article with Rolling Stones multiple times talks about. Oh, I forgot to hide the current. Talks about multiple times African American history, and I feel like they're playing that card to bring more negativity to Johnny and Jeff. And it's just not fair. And I think it's no different than if you were to sing a psalm, P-S-A-L-M, song, or maybe old nursery rhyme or something, and you bring your own self to it. It's all public domain if it's that old, and nobody knows who's written it because it's been handed down by generations and generations. They can sort this out by donating the money to the intended charities directly and not involve this guy. Sure, if there's any proof on their own, they're going to find out themselves where this came from, and maybe they can do that, and that's up to them, but that shouldn't be a requirement. Right now, it's just going to be up to the judge. I'm not sure how far this will go, but they want it dismissed, so they obviously don't want to make a claim to it. I love Wayne Dennison. I called him Jim Dial from the TV show Murphy Brown because he reminded me, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I get you. I see that. Yeah, you're talking about music. That's awesome. All these new people joining in. I love it. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm thrilled to go. So that's where that is. But there's been a lot of positivity. Look, we see a lot of negativity on Twitter. Twitter is like this compared to the world. And I went to a wedding. I had a crazy month. I was so busy traveling between Johnny's concert, came back. We got ill, but I was traveling, went to a wedding, and it was a wedding for a 20-something-year-old. He had a lot of his aged friends from college. And during some downtime, there was about 4 tables of 10 each. So that's 40 people around that age. And I went to them and I said, hey, I'm so-and-so's aunt. What did you think about this trial? And nearly all of them felt, yay, he deserved to win, number one. And 2, nearly all of them got their news from TikTok. None of them were on Twitter at all. They're not even on Twitter. But it wasn't so much the TikTok memes. It was TikTok news. There was a lot of people that were putting the news out. And sorry, I just getting some texts. I thought they'd be important. Anyway, so they got their news from TikTok, meaning news snippets, short and digestible versus the long drawn out. But yeah, of course, they saw the memes. But by every chance, none of them felt believe all women. It was a very mixed group. They were there in couples. So I thought it was interesting to get that feedback. Yeah. This is what it is. And I've shared this before. In fact, I'm on Twitter and I just found a guy that has I guess he used to be a journalist, or he is, and he put out some great information. I have some articles that I read through. We are in the era ever since Trump of rage media, rage advertising. We depend, the tabloids depend on posting something so outrageous that both sides will click. The pro Johnny Depps are going, yay, it's a great article, and they're going to retweet it and comment it, and the anti-Johnnies are going to go, this is wrong, this ruined everything for women, and they're going to attack it. And every time that happens, click, 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 they run up their ad revenue. So that's what we've become. It's called an outrage economy. They do whatever they can to the nth degree to put you over the edge, to get you to click, respond, share, retweet, comment, because then you're clicking and their ads are being seen and they get more revenue. That's what they're doing. So sometimes it's better to step back and not engage. Don't give them more attention. Even screenshots are making people go, oh, what's this article about? Maybe I should go click on it. Think about that. It is an outrage economy that they are depending on, and it's also fighting truth with lies with truth doesn't always work. And Trump also did that. You tell a lie enough times, people are going to start to believe it. And that's exactly what Amber Heard's crew is doing since the trial, since the unsealed documents, which didn't even say what they were saying, but they just went crazy treating all these viral threads, which I think were bought likes and stuff, but media picked up on it because they knew it would make us mad to click and comment. It's so hard not to fall into that. But why is this? Checking my comments. Why is this not true? I mean, why is Twitter just really a drop in the bucket? Well, let's look at some really positive things. It's Jack Spooky Sparrow season. Costume sales are spiking and soaring, and many media picked this up. He's like one of the #1 costumes now, and that's not just for adults, it's for children too. And if it was for children, believe me, these adults wouldn't be letting that happen. His post-trial high is rolling right into Halloween, and that means you should get ready for even more Captain Jack Sparrow costumes than usual while you're out partying. And it's not just going to be Captain Jack. It's going to be all of his characters. They're going to be so popular. It's a notable trend going on. The world's largest costume retailer, honchos at HalloweenCostume.com, tell us what they're seeing is a 90% sales spike in purchases related to Johnny's famous Disney character. And I think that's amazing. And I think that's a huge sign. That is one of the biggest signs post-trial that people want Johnny Depp and they want Captain Jack Sparrow, and Disney better be paying attention to this. Because it's not just the other costumes. 90% increase in Captain Jack Sparrow. And that's what they need to be paying attention to. Yeah. So that's great. And we have another one. Shoot, we got a whole town in Norfolk, Connecticut that does his haunted house, and they're theming it to Johnny Depp. The focus of the theme is going to be a haunted house for Johnny Depp. A whole town. That tells you something, that was passed through their people, that we're going to highlight Johnny Depp starting October, I think it's 7th through the 14th, or it begins the 14th, continues through to the end of the month for Halloween. And it will feature a Johnny Depp theme. Into the Depp will be ode to the character who has made headlines in recent months for his suit. That's fantastic. That's to be celebrated. That's amazing that they've gone that far. I think it's wonderful. And sadly, we're going to have some other celebrities going to come out the other way. Let me catch up here between. Oh, meant Jim Dial. Yeah, I knew who you meant as soon as you said it. Oh, appreciate hit the like button. I really help. YouTube analytics has been nasty lately. Nasty. I have not lost subscribers. I've gained subscribers, but my viewership is way down because the notifications were getting screwed up. It's definitely cash grab. That's exactly what they said. They said, look, you sent us 2 demand letters. They put it in their claim, 2 demand letters. And now they're saying, oh, no, we must want this dismissed. You wanted money. Oh, well, we were going to donate it. Well, that's what we were planning. We were going to donate it. I wonder if those were in the letters. Because even if it was, we already saw how donations work and pledges. Is the demand letter a pledge? Give us the money, we pledge. Yeah, a lot of the TikToks were straight up trial clips. They weren't all memes. And a lot of them were sidebar, like Law and Media, or sidebars and Court TV. You know, they were all putting stuff out. Saying Warner is committed to financial suicide because of the word suicide. They gotcha. Oh. Yeah, they get hate clicks. They get rage clicks, it's called. And let me tell you something. I report things, bad accounts, nasty things against myself. As soon as I hit the report button, I will get an email literally within the same second that, oh, no, we didn't find anything wrong. So I'm on some kind of Twitter ban list, let me tell you. Thank you for trying to keep up with notifications. But moving on, we do have an actor. Okay. You can separate the artist from whatever is going on. But she admits, Janelle Monáe, she's coming off a triumphant performance in Knives Out, on Knives Out Mystery, and might well get an Oscar for it. And she was on stage in South Bank, where she headlined for the London Films Festival. And this is the quote she said, "When I think about careers, this person as an actor, his life as an actor only," because she doesn't want to get controversial. She's not, I mean, we've got a London case and we've got a U.S. case. Johnny Depp has a very fast career. Vast. The amount of roles, Willy Wonka to Sweeney Todd to all the dramatic roles, she said, whatever the Janelle Monáe version of that is, maybe something even better. But I want to be able to do those sorts of like transformative characters that people are dressing up for Halloween. Something grounded but embedded in the hearts and minds of children forever. That's great. That was an amazing statement for a celebrity to make. And then this other, who knows who she is, comes out and says, oh, it's terrible the way Amber was treated. No, Amber lied. I'm going to go on this forever. 7 jurors unanimously found that Amber Heard lied repeatedly with actual malice, meaning she knows she lied, which means all those years from 2016 where she was out giving speeches and being paid for them on the backs of other real survivors, the jury said she knowingly lied through all of that. Rottenborn stood up to that jury and said, all you have to do is find one incident, just one, and she's not liable. The jury could not find even one, not one of the 7, because then it could have been a hung jury. Not one of them found a credible incident that Johnny harmed her. They should be denouncing her for harming all victims, not fighting for her at this point. I don't understand it. There are so many real victims, real causes out there to put your energy into. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not going to rant the whole time. I'm trying to stay up with you. She's a fantastic artist and stood up for Johnny. Yeah. Still notifications. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Ooh. No, not just about Johnny, about donating, about so much. I mean, I don't think stealing Kate's story. He does do book readings. I have a few. Can't understand it. Fumes makes me fume. She lied. They lied. Well, they represent their client. I'm hoping somebody comes up with perjury. Rage clicks. Here's another example, in my opinion. Kanye West hires Johnny Depp's attorney from Heard trial as fallout continues. This is after he made those remarks, and TMZ jumps on it now. Do you honestly think that this entire deal came together? Kanye West has taken a lot of L's lately, losses, so he's hoping one person who recently called Johnny Depp a big W could come to his rescue. Sources close to Ye tell us he recently hired Camille Vasquez. I just did the big mistake. And Brown Rudnick firm Vasquez should be familiar with the name. She's the one who gained global attention for her legal skills now it's the Amber Heard trial. In the Johnny Depp victory in his trial, his defamation trial. Anyway, recently, this deal was going on for a while. They've come in and they are only dealing with, we're told, Camille, among a group of attorneys. That means Brown and Rudnick are representing Kanye's business interests only, contracts, deals, and the works. And of course, everybody attacked her. Even Johnny's fans are going, Camille, you let us down. No, this had to have happened in the works. This was happening before these statements were made. And lo and behold, boom, she dropped him. You retract these statements or I'm not working with you. And that she's representing Brown when she says that, Brown Rudnick. Just as quickly as it began, not necessarily, the working relationship between Kanye West and Johnny Depp's attorney has come to an end. Sources with direct knowledge tells us after the Kanye doubled and tripled down on his anti-Semitic remarks over the weekend, Camille informed her firm, Brown Rudnick, she could no longer work for Kanye. We're told Brown and Rudnick still attempted to work with Kanye, but only on the condition he publicly retract his hateful and anti-Semitic words. Our sources say Kanye refused to do so. So he fired Brown and Rudnick, but obviously Brown and Rudnick was quitting. They made that very clear. So there again, we have these rage clicks. They gave us something they knew would upset us, so everybody attacked it. It's something that had been in the works. It's something that Camille herself may not have even been directly involved with. It's part of that group, that office, Brown and Rudnick. But they just used what they could. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. I was at the Chicago show. It was incredible. I was so happy to see Johnny come out to cheers. He's Quasimodo no longer. No, he's standing tall. He's really enjoying it. She accused the director of abusing his girlfriend, the one she dated after they broke, and beating a man to death. So he's suing Bridge. Oh, I don't know about this one. Sorry, I don't know about that one. Yeah. He's been dropped by everybody. He's lost billions of dollars, and Elon Musk took over Twitter. Was it yesterday? And Kanye's back on Twitter. They reinstated his account immediately. That just happened. Very disappointed for Judge A not taking action against all the dishonor in the trial. Well, I was sitting in there almost every day. I missed 1 week. I think she ran a very solid courtroom. I mean, she did not let us get away. She sent people out if they were snickering too much. I mean, the deputies came and escorted people out. So I think she ran a tight ship. And of course, she's relying on the lawyers who believe in their client, who are bringing the best case for their clients. That's what they did. That's what they're allowed to do. No, nobody does. And even Elon Musk is coming out that he wants to help citizen journalists on Twitter. Yeah. Elon also lost billions yesterday. Will Elon let Adam back? What do you think? I wish I knew how to do a poll on here. I would. I know you're able to, but I don't know how that is. No, he's not going to let him back. And if he did, I think the first person Adam would blast off on was Elon. His involvement in this trial. So no, I don't think that's happening. Do you think that the pro-AH and anti-JD articles from MSM have gotten worse after the trial or before? It seems biased articles are out of control now, maybe because the public was so on Johnny's side. Yeah, I think there's tremendous power and money in these women's organizations. Absolutely. Tremendous power. And that's where it's coming from. And maybe Elon is involved. I mean, Daily Mail has come out emphatically and said that he is the sperm donor. I don't know. Yeah, it's trending. It's trending on Twitter. They're begging him to come back. We will see. We will see. We will see. What else have I got? Do we not love this man or what? Tim Burton shares why Johnny Depp became a frequent collaborator of his. It was something I could just feel. I love when Johnny talks about Tim. A lot of what he says, he'll be like, oh, sorry, my mouse died and I'm having to use something else. Let me blow this up a little bit for you. The other articles aren't pretty self-explanatory. Can you all see this? I'm going to close everything. Close all the junk. Junk should be closing. Junk is not closing. I cannot read if the junk is there. Wild. Okay. It's not letting me close this. While giving a master class at the Lumiere Film Festival, American filmmaker and artist Tim Burton discussed his cinematic inspiration as well as his unique style when it comes to filmmaking with an audience of fans. Some who were dressed in costumes reminiscent of his famous Gothic characters. This year's Lumiere recipient answered questions about his past collaborations with actor Johnny Depp. The critically acclaimed and award-winning filmmaker shared how he found his perfect match in Depp when they first worked together in Edward Scissorhands, in which the famous actor starred in his title role alongside Winona Ryder, another frequent collaborator with Burton. Since working on fantastical romance film about an artificial man with scissors for hands, the duo has gone on to make 8 films together. 8. Burton created several films with Depp at the center, including the titular role in Ed Wood, Ida Crane in Sleepy Hollow, and alongside Christina Ricci as a main character in Sleepy Hollow. Also done the musical Sweeney Todd, one of my favorite because it was just so unexpected that Johnny sang. Connected with him when I met him for Edward Scissorhands. He was similar to me, kind of suburban white trash. It was not even a verbal understanding. And that's what Johnny said. They finish each other's sentence or they don't finish. They just know what each other's talking about. It was something I could feel. He liked the characters. He was interested in acting for the art of it, not the business of it. It was exciting to see somebody play different things. The idea of the transformation from film to film always excited me. This is so true because Johnny's coming out now basically saying, look, live streaming is here. The audience is changing. The audience should make the decision. And he wants to do the independence. He doesn't want to do the recipes that everything in the big companies now, in the big studios, is superheroes. You know, he's like, there's no real stories anymore. It's all a recipe followed over and over again. Burton also worked with Depp on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That same year, he did Corpse Bride with his partner, Helen Bonham Carter. Of course, we have Alice in Wonderland, and they should have had Tim for the second one, Through the Mirror, and Barnabas Collis in Dark Shadows. During the masterclass, Burton also revealed some of his inspiration lies in European fables, German expressionism, as well as classic monster movies, which he said he was watching before he could even walk or talk. The popular filmmaker went on to say, I never saw the monsters as bad. They were always beautiful, visual things that were different, feeling different myself, like a lot of people do. I responded to monsters. Great article. And again, I'm not going to read everything. I'll put it down the links, but I think it's something we can discuss. Love Sweeney Todd. I love it. The Alan Rickman was perfection. Such a nice article for once to hear positive news about Johnny. What did somebody was saying about my dead mouse? Very. But he believed the world believed that he had hands made of scissors. Isn't that what she said? Amazing. He just posted a lawsuit filed against Boozy and Bot Sentinel. Oh, he's finally got it. Claim. Okay. I know he sent the cease and desist letter, so now that's out. My mouse died. I imagine Twitter will say Laura B admits to animal neglect. There it is. There it is. Anything they can. The latest one, they're back to my old age. I just laugh at them. I decided I have to be careful me doing some of the Queen gifts, obviously, because we just lost Queen of England, and I don't want to come off as being rude or insensitive. And unfortunately, almost all the Queen GIFs are her. The one only film I've not seen Johnny Depp is in Rum Diary, and I won't. I forced myself through it. Yeah. Not my favorite. Libertine. Go see the Libertine. Find that. Find the Libertine. There's so many he's done that have been buried and not released as they should be and properly. They're amazing. The Libertine. Yeah, see? He sounded like David Bowie and Sweeney Todd. Interesting. The lawsuit is perfect. Oh, is this the one for Boozy? Okay, back to Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, and other Hollywood stars who have had issues with Disney. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp have worked with Disney on past films. This is, who knows what's going to happen with Captain Jack Sparrow, but nobody can play it but Johnny, that's for sure. Tim Burton's airing out his issues with Disney. During a recent press conference, Burton criticized Disney for becoming very homogenized and said that the studio is only focused on the Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar films. And this goes the same, really, as Warner Brothers. Burton has also admitted he was fired by the studio several times throughout his career. I have his autobiography. It's a really good read. My history is that I started out there, Burton said. I was hired and fired like several times throughout my career there. The thing about Dumbo, and that's why I think my days with Disney are done, I realized that I was Dumbo. That I was working in this horrible big circus and I needed to escape. And that's what Johnny's been saying about all these big studios. The movie is quite autobiographical at a certain level. A representative for Disney did not respond for comment. A crisis in PR expert explained to Fox News Digital that the studio's consumers and customers likely aren't concerned about who will or who won't work with Disney. Well, and this is what Johnny's saying. He has trust in the public that you're going to spend your money on things you want and stop spending it on what you don't, you're sick of, you're tired of, you're bored of. Wait for it to come on to the cable channels, not even the streaming channels. Wait for it. It's coming. They're dropping them like flies so fast from the theater to the streaming out to regular channels. Disney has weathered its share of crises and it will continue to do so, says the senior president of Crisis PR firm Red Banyan. Disney's customers are likely more concerned about whether their kids enjoy Disney movies and whether they can afford to take their kids to theme parks with sky-high rocket prices than they are about movie studio. Whatever. Whatever. What do we got? No, I won't watch. I won't watch that. I won't watch anything with her in it ever, ever, ever. And I'll be very vocal about it. I will never, never bend on that. I don't know what's going on there. Chocolat. Yes, we forgot about those. There's some amazing movies out there. Such dramatic acting. Neverland, one of my favorites. You know, you cry a lot at the end of Johnny's movies. Did you ever notice that? Johnny's opening a new production company in the UK for European movies is a sign of his intention for his future career. I think tell the stories he wants in the words he wants and being free. And it's not just him acting in it either. It's also him producing it. I don't know what's going to happen to his US company. I don't know what they're active in. I know Sakar, I can't remember his name. He's more the leader in the American production company along with his sister Christy. Johnny's running the European company with Steven. So it was not nominated, I don't think, for People's Choice Award or not. No, it's such a good movie. No, they skipped right over it. Sadly. Professor's amazing. So many good dramatic roles. And I love that he intermixes with his fantasy roles, quite honestly. And speaking of which, from street seller to the royal fold, King Louis the 15th Mistress was the ultimate social climber. This is the movie that Johnny just came off of. I wouldn't believe all the gossip. I did hear it was a grueling, exhausting shoot. It must be hard to be filming in a foreign language. I think because of the trial, there's so much media attention that people just want to feed into and take advantage of the attention and make things up. So here she is, the French beauty whose life is the subject of the new Netflix film starring Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp famously went from selling trinkets on the streets of Paris to sharing the king's bed at the Palace of Versailles. And I think this is an interesting little backstory. Johnny Depp is acting again in his new role as France's King Louis XV in the upcoming historical drama Jean du Barry. I think it's also called The Favorite. Following his win in a court case in the U.S., because they have to mention that, God forbid they can go on with that. Depp's role of the French king concludes his 3-year hiatus from the industry. The film will follow the escapades of Louis XV and his indulgent 18th century court, specifically centering around King's mistress, Madame du Barry, but who actually was the famous French beauty, now capturing the attention of filmmaker May Wen, who is both producing the project and playing the lead role. There's our Johnny. Du Barry famously ruffled a few artistic feathers, or aristocratic feathers, when she appeared on the king's arm at the Palace of Versailles. I think she doesn't mean, Born Jean Beck in 1974, Du Barry came from a humble beginnings and an illegitimate daughter of an impoverished seamstress. As a young woman, the teenager would sell trinkets on the streets of Paris before embarking on a number of vacations. Du Barry's blonde ringlets and blue eyes came to the attention of Comte Guillaume du Barry, giving her the appellation of Mademoiselle Lange. Guillaume helped establish Jean's career as a courtesan, working the upper echelons of Paris society. Quickly becoming a sensation among courtiers and royal ministries, Du Barry began to move in the same circles as King Louis. After becoming enamored by her charm, the king hatched a plan to assure his new lover would have a permanent place at court. This I found interesting. Jeanne could not qualify as a maîtresse en titre unless she had a title. The king thus ordered that Jeanne marry a man of strong lineage. In 1768, she wed Comte Guillaume. Du Barry was also presented with a false birth certificate, which made her younger by 3 years and erased her common background. I think that's so interesting. In order to have an affair, which everybody knew he was having an affair with this woman, she had to have a title. I just think that's wild. But gossip soon began in the circle of the French court, with many turning their back to their king's favorite. Marie Antoinette was among those who disliked Du Barry, refusing to speak to her at events and in passing. This became a major issue within royal circles, as it was considered a deliberate snub to the king. Marie Antoinette was therefore encouraged to make a public demonstration of civility towards Du Barry. On January 1st, 1772, she said to the mistress, "There are many people at Versailles today." A simple address apparently ending the pair's dispute. Whoops, this isn't Tatler, by the way. The French mistress was installed in a 14-room suite immediately above the king's private quarters with 3 secret entrances available to him to visit. Despite him being 28 years her senior, Du Barry maintained a close relationship with the king, who admired her good nature. There were a number of occasions when Du Barry begged the monarch to spare others facing sometimes deadly retributions for their actions. After being officially presented at court, a number of women of nobility were bribed into forming Du Barry's entourage. Despite her unpopularity, Du Barry's led a life of considerable luxury. At 9 a.m. every morning, she was brought a cup of chocolate, after which she was dressed in a gown and laden with jewelry. Du Barry's bedroom was embellished with gold leaf and a red marble fireplace with palm tree motifs. Her bathroom, a Prussian blue, was supplied with hot and cold water, running water, and featured twin tubs, one for soaping and the other for rinsing. After the death of the king, Du Barry was banished by order of Louis's grandson, successor Louis the 16th. In December 1793, age 50, she was executed by guillotine on charges of treason during the French Revolution. Her final words are remembered as, "One more moment, Mr. Executioner, I beg you." Well, she wasn't the only one who had her head chopped off, was she? So I thought that's an interesting story. I'm looking forward to that movie. It's going to be in French, so it'll be one of the first movies I'll see with subtitles. Betty and June, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. They were good. They were good. I think I saw... Did I miss anybody? I hope not. Yep, he has 2 companies, one in California. This is the weekend for Sleepy Hollow. Get your Johnny Depp Halloween movies in for sure. For sure. I think I'm up to date with you guys. I saw a lot of California YouTubers making videos using Jack Sparrow costume as their Halloween theme for this year, so the news is legit about the sales. Yeah, it's exciting. Wait again. I hope it's on UK Netflix. Yeah, I hope Netflix is going to be carrying it, so eventually it'll be everywhere. Judy speaking French. Yes, the Hollywood vampires are going back on the road. Here's this little fun one. So this guy made this guitar for Johnny. It's called the Shipwreck guitar. Oh my God, all the ads are driving me crazy today. If I make this bigger, maybe I can get rid of some ads. So there it is. And it's got Never Fear Truth, the compass, a dive hat. Through Johnny has always had an affinity for an electric guitar. It seems that the actor's 6-string guitar career has really shifted up a gear over the past few months. First appearing alongside Jeff Beck for a surprise cameo back in May, the pair went to the studio to make an album again. And of course, he's on tour. So this guy, lucky for him, luthier David Patillo, put together a more aquatic instrument inspired by Depp's most popular acting performance, Pirates of the Caribbean, first for him. And it's one of the most remarkable custom builds we've seen all year. Oh, got a video. Oh, I'm gonna watch this. Hold on, guys. I gotta share it. Special. I didn't realize I had a video in it. Share screen. Chrome tab. Let's see what this is about. I missed this. Oh no, it's pictures. It's pictures. All right. I saw that arrow there and I thought it. So here's some close-up pictures of it. And the back. Oh. Very cool things. Very cool things. After deciding he'd give the Shipwreck to Depp as a gift, he raced to complete the build throughout the summer. Before bonding with the American Hollywood actor while presenting him the insane-looking custom guitar, he did present it to him. At its core, Shipwreck Tell-style model features 209-year-old basswood body, as well as a frame, maple neck, and 12-inch zero-coat fretboard. The real magic can be found in the aesthetic and hardware departments, which are crammed with imagery and symbolism. Adorning the body is a full-functioning compass fashioned with brass from 1899, a nod to the compass Depp's pirate character carries with him, as well as an upper bout inlay of Depp's daughter, Lily Rose, hand-carved from Tahitian gray pearl on a background of pink and purple abalone. Two pickguard engravings, one of the Grim Reaper and another that reads Never Feel Truth, line up alongside a holographic picture just above the strings, which changes. Some more pictures. There it is, Lily Rose. Is there another one? No. And that's just the pickguard for control circuit. Patilla fashioned a deep sea diver's helmet out of steel and copper for the tone knob, and swapped the regular volume knob with a wave engravered alternative 8 captain's door locket. Oh, that's what that was. Meanwhile, houses a white rose adjacent to the controls. Other specs worth mentioning, though. The list is exhaustive, including the mesmerizing fretboard inlay work at the first fret, where there's a deep sea diver's helmet surrounding by sea life. With 12th fret is adorned with a treasure chest. Turns out that didn't plan on just having Shipwreck as a piece of 6-string eye candy. As Patilla went on to explain, when he left his dressing room, he was a relief to get the guitar in his hands. Mission accomplished. And he did play it. There it is. And again, I have to be careful of copyright, but he did play it. So I saw Johnny come up with the guitar strapped on from the dressing room, and I was so excited to see him playing it for the first song. Johnny said those pickups are fire, and he would be calling soon for more projects, and really enjoyed our talk. That's super cool. That's super cool. This just super cool. Love it. I just love it. You're talking about her. Cool. Let me tell you, talking about his new movie, The King apparently spent way too much money on his living style and not taking the taxes from his people who were starving and stuff. So I don't think they very much appreciated the adornment of her bedroom and her separate bathtubs, for sure. Yeah, romanticizing history, and then we chop off her head. I was never a diehard Depp fan, but the trial changed that. Oh, you have a lot to catch up on then. A lot to catch up on. Yeah, I don't love them all. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, not my favorite. That's just not my genre. But for the most part, I've never walked away disappointed, for sure. So unique. Oh, I love this. Toilets in Versailles have a fun history. Hey, Ardo, how are you? First there was one. No one used it, so it was walled shut. King Louis XIV increased the number and ordered feces to be cleaned from hallways once a week. Imagine. Ooh. Wow. Well, I remember I lived in Holland, and this is a different story. The buildings are not straight up. They're leaned forward so that when they dump things out, it lands in the street, but also when they're pulling up groceries or whatever that are hooked on, that doesn't bang against the building. So the buildings are kind of eased out, cantilever a bit. So there was a picture posted on Twitter, and of course all the hateful stands went after, and it was Johnny wearing a t-shirt that he had just been given that was embroidered or printed. I have to share this. No, I don't want to share that part. Let's see, we go. So Johnny is wearing this t-shirt that was given to him as a gift. The video has nothing to do with actor Johnny Depp gifted a Wallace stock t-shirt from New Brunswick, which he immediately put on. He was very proud of it. And I'm going to butcher these names. Bethany Tremblay had VIP tickets to Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp's concert in Toronto, and she knew exactly what she wanted to do when she met them. I'm going to bring Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp t-shirts that have my tribe's name on it or logo. Tremblay, whose spiritual name is Nipeyi Monak, is from Nukatok Tobik First Nation, and her father is Wollastock Grand Chief Ron Tremblay. He gifted her some t-shirts, one that was of particular significance to New Brunswick's longest river. That river is the St. John River, which was originally known as Wollastock. The t-shirt was designed by Indigenous artist Shelley Solomon in the word Wollastock in white, with the St. John River crossed out below it, and a canoe and paddle above it encompassed with a blue circle. In the video, Tremblay represents the t-shirt or presents the t-shirt to Johnny Depp, who can be heard learning to pronounce Wollastock and describing the design as beautiful. He hugged her at the end of the video, which has gone viral on Facebook. In fact, he put it on. It's a traditional custom to give thanks and to never come up empty-handed, especially when someone is transferring their energy with you, she said from New York. The experience was amazing. Tremblay was able to speak with Jeff Beck over the course of a couple of hours and meet Depp backstage. What an amazing human being he is, she said. He was very interested in the ceremony. Then I got to meet Johnny Depp and give him the shirt. It wasn't until the next morning that she got the photo of Depp donning the t-shirt. Okay, so he didn't put it on with her. She got it. So he did put it on, though. To be seen, to be heard, to feel that genuine interest from them. She said people are waking up. People are starting to realize that it's time for change. It's time for Indigenous people to reclaim the original names of things, as well as being able to celebrate the customs. Shelley Solomon designed the t-shirt as part of her education through Micmac Wolaskay Center at the University of New Brunswick campus in Fredericton. She said she was brought to tears when she saw and heard Johnny Depp in the video posted by Tremblay. He was like saying it the way he said, and oh, it's beautiful. And then he puts it on and takes a picture with it. You know, he could have tossed it aside, wore it another day, but he actually put it on, right on. I thought that was awesome. I guess she explained the meaning behind the shirt, so he kind of supported that. For both Tremblay and Solomon, it was an unforgettable memory, but speaks to something larger, which is truth and reconciliation in Canada. It just opens up the door more for New Brunswickers, right? Solomon said, somebody asked me why we want the name change, and I said it was never changed to us. It's always been Wollastock. There's a lot of work to do on the path toward truth and reconciliation, Tremblay said, but the moment of positivity like the one she shared with the community and Johnny Depp are important. With these movements, the reclamations and revitalization of our culture, our ceremonies, and our language, it can be taxing on the spirit, and so anything that can bring hope and can lighten that fire to keep going is all I wanted to provide. How lovely is Johnny? And then what happened? That photo goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Nobody cared what he was wearing. They only cared how he looked at a bad angle and bad lighting, and they just attacked him. And what he did was an amazing thing. It was an amazing thing. Oh. Anyway, let me catching up. Amazing guitar. Yeah, I've seen him in clips playing that guitar, which I think is so awesome when he's given a gift that he immediately shares. He does that with a lot of the jewelry people give. Historical French mistress at the guillotine. Sorry, joke. Well, and Marie Antoinette also ended up that way. Very unique guitar. Fell in love with Jack Sparrow. That character was amazing, although Gilbert Grape was always a film favorite too. What else? We've got a nice group here, guys. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. Do I need to talk about this? Well, everybody wants to know. No, I'm not going to talk about it. So she showed up again in Spain. She showed up in London. The defendant apparently seems to always be able to find where the camera isn't expecting her. Oh, the paparazzi, please leave me alone. I saw her stands posting, please, whatever. Hey, more good news on the heels of Johnny Depp and Jeff Beck. Yay. Vampires. Hollywood Vampires in 2023 are on tour. They already had a lot of dates announced, and now they are coming to the UK. So this is so exciting. Glad they found the time to do this. So Johnny is going to be finishing his tour in mid-November. Then he's off for quite a while. And then he's going to be shooting that film that he's directing about the artist Modi. And then he'll be going back on tour. So I am thrilled with him. He's going to have some time to rest. I think mid-November, at least till mid-January, he'll have a break, probably go off to his island. I forgot to hide the comment. No, I'm not giving on the defendant. That's all again. Hollywood Vampires have announced a UK tour with Johnny Depp for summer 2023. It's already on sale, people. Quickly, get your tickets. There's 2 super VIP groups. One, £5,000 includes a guitar. So nope, everybody like freaking out. You got to read the fine print. The other one is the standard VIP photo op with ticket. The rock supergroup comprising of Depp, Alice Cooper, Joe Perry, and Tommy Henriksen. I love that they're including Tommy because he is an important contribution in writing and production. And recording will perform 6 UK dates next July in Scarborough, Swansea, Manchester, London, Birmingham, and Glasgow. Awesome. The band was forced to cancel their planned 2020 tour due to the pandemic, but will return for a string of European dates in 2023. They actually had to cancel it several times because they just rolled over the tickets and they had to cancel it again. Pre-sales are on October 26th, so they've already gone on. They're already pre-sailing. Cooper said, well, it's already been 3 years since the vampires have toured because of COVID. Also, Johnny has his movies. Joe's in Aerosmith. Aerosmith is still in Vegas, finishing up their 50-year special event residency. And I'm in Alice Cooper. So he's been active too. So we all have to look forward to a whole thing. And it's so exciting. And I doubt they'll come to my area, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. We are doing it, and we are going to be doing that next summer, coming 2023. This is Alice Cooper. I can't wait to get back with the guys. I really love being in the band. My band is great and wonderful, but playing with the vampires is a entirely different situation. I don't necessarily do any theatrics at all. I'm just the lead singer in a band that just happens to be one of the best bands around. It's great to see Johnny and Joe and Buck and Chris and all the guys. We'll be rocking these places, especially the UK. I can't wait. Harry added, next summer will be finally time for Hollywood Vampires to rise again. We can't wait to play the songs from our latest album, Rise, for all of our fans across the pond. I think exciting begins. Yeah, they had to cancel their tour, and that was right after they released the album. So I think there's a lot more to come. I think I've covered everything. Unless there's something new that's come up, maybe I should check and see if anything new has come up today in news. Let's see. I think it's the same thing we've been singing. Well, Phoebe Bridgers, whoever you are, you're like riding on. That's another thing is these celebrities that want to come out. They just want to ride on the coattails of the news to make themselves suddenly be important. That's about it. Tickets, Hollywood Vampires. That's about it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We got it. Rise, the album is great. It was wonderful. The first album that they did was a lot more cover songs. This has a lot more songs they wrote themselves, along with some covers. I still love Hero. I'm sorry, I still love it. Disney's lost it. Okay, let's see what we've got here, guys. We've got a nice little group. Is there anything I haven't discussed that you guys want to come up? Yeah, you just can't please everybody. Ignore them. Boy, is that correct. German photography team in Spain announced that they took the shots 4 times. I don't know what that is. No, he still has the island. He did not sell that. He has his island. He has his French home, and he has several homes on Switzer. Is what he still owns, to my knowledge. I hear rumors all the time about an UK home. I don't think he owns any of that. No, definitely didn't sell it. Sold the yacht. I was worried Johnny wouldn't be at the show, but now he is. I'm over the moon. Yeah, if you're talking about Jeff Beck, yeah, for a while we weren't sure if he was going to be there. No, he did not sell his island. No, in fact, he was there before court, I think. He went there to plan and get ready. Is there anything else, guys? So what am I covering coming up? There's been an update with Amber Heard's lawsuits, the defendant's lawsuits. I'm happy to bring that. I'm hoping that she's finally going to get her comeuppance there. I expect that she's going to file a stay. She has not filed her answer yet. So we have that. We're following the appeal. November 2nd, their big briefs are due. They're going to be about 50 pages. They're going to be full of a lot of law, a lot of case law. And I'm sure a lot of YouTubers will cover it. I will still cover it. I will be picking out the stuff that makes sense to me and to us, the layman's terms. And I've been doing some deep dives, bringing some things that you might better understand what she's trying to claim. My last one was Johnny filed a second set of assignment of error against her case. And I also found the proffers they put out in court, and that's a lot of what she's objecting to. The one thing that stood out to me was she wanted Stephen Duder's text. She didn't want Stephen Duder's, because everybody's saying it's hearsay unless he testifies. You have his deposition. Why don't you put it up there? Now we know, was reminded that she only wanted the text. She wanted to have Stephen identified like Adam as an agent. Anything he said was as if it was coming out of Johnny's mouth. So they just wanted to read those texts to the jury without Stephen negating them, being cross-examined on them. And that wasn't going to help. We're following the copyright claim. There is a book out. Jen Robinson, Amber Heard's UK lawyer, she's going out with about injustice for women. Now, I understand that happens, that these powerful men get people to sign NDAs. NDAs are also common in celebrity divorces, and they tried to say in a chapter that Johnny threatened Amber Heard not to be able to testify because of the NDA, which is steadfastly false. I have the court documents to prove that, so I also had that in a recent video, and doing some more deep dives on the unsealed. And the most recent one was a two-parter on Warner Brothers, and thank God that Johnny fought hard enough to get that to testify. So this is what I'm looking at here, just going through some of my videos that I've done. So we have the unsealed series, and we also have the pre-trial battles of everything that was going on mostly in California, fighting to get people like Warner Brothers to testify, and then fighting with Disney. Well, Amber Heard was fighting against Disney, and they did not bring what they should have brought, which was their person most knowledgeable. That poor person sat up there and go, yeah, I don't know anything about Pirates of the Caribbean 6. That's not my job. So I have no clue. I have a nice, if you're curious, we did a video of going to the concert. Now I'm going to be doing another one with Andy and his crew. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what I've got going on. I think I'm powering through. No, they didn't want anybody positive. They did everything they could. And as much as the traveler's insurance agent likes to lay claim to getting Gina Juders booted, it was actually Eve Barlow lying about a cropped Instagram photo that was more than over a year old. Hey, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, comment. I have a PayPal link. I appreciate all your support. I really do. It's amazing. I think in comparison to his movies, it was a lot less. Plus, his old agent was very money hungry. Oh, my God, she was. Horribly. Yeah, she was all about the more she pushed his, irregardless of what he wanted to do, like he wanted to take time off and do music. And she's like, you don't make enough money. Plus, I don't get a cut of your music. She's like, oh, Johnny, I bought myself a Christmas present. Is 6 figures okay? I think I got you all. Anybody have any last minutes? Because I think we've been on here an hour and a half. I try not to keep you much longer than that. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. I try and get to comments twice a day. I was crazy busy yesterday, but I'm going to catch up this afternoon, and I'm off of here. And yeah, that's about it. If anything else, powerful women also require NDAs. Thank you. Yes, I shouldn't have said that, but it is not unusual. Thank you. Everything is appreciated. I so appreciate it. So glad you bring us another live for your Vegas trip. Yeah, apparently we'll be streaming for like 5 hours on Saturday. Plus we'll be streaming Friday before the concert. So we're getting dressed to the nines, I'm told. That's what I'm told. Love Aerosmith. Dream On should, yeah, her theme song. Thanks, it was fun. Okay. I am happy. I'm healthy. It took me a while. I'm not gonna lie. It was a crazy month for me. I had 3 weeks of this is, when you get diagnosed with cancer, I'm healthy, I'm happy, everything's fine. But every year I had to go back for all these tests and screenings, and it's scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's scary because you're so afraid that one of those tests are gonna come back and say, yep, the ghost is back. But no, I'm clear, I'm good, everything's great. I just had a busy time. I did all that, got to the concert, came home, babysat, and then off to a wedding and then back again. Thank you, Raul. Thank you for coming. Y'all have a great weekend. Sunshine, definitely leave that question in her comments below since she missed it. Wait, Sunshine, where are you? Vanessa, was it for Vanessa or was it for me? Thank you so much. I'm going to have fun. I mean, sometimes surprises them. I've planned so much to go to Johnny's concert. Oh, that's another thing. We got hit by the hurricane. Right before we were to leave, this hurricane was coming up by our area, and all the flights were like, do you want to cancel? Do you want to cancel? So we were panicked that we were going to get out. We did not get out Saturday. My husband ended up getting very sick, probably so much because of the hurricane winds, like an allergic asthma attack, and we got out the next day. Hugs to you all. Hugs to you all. Thank you. Is there a question I missed? I'm guessing it was for Vanessa. Yes, he did. Josh shared. I am Bobby London from Instagram. Josh shared a FaceTime video, I think, from Robert Downey Jr. to Johnny. You know, not everybody has to like and subscribe and post their Instagram for their friends. Sometimes they just do it straight up with each other. Thank you. Thank you to my mods. I always appreciate you all. Yeah, it has. It's been an hour and a half already. And I love doing this, and I was glad we mostly have some great news. Some great news. Thank you, everybody. So appreciate y'all. What's up with Robert Downey Jr.? Did something happen recently? I guess I missed that comment. Thank you. 17 years. Thank you. That's my hope. If RJ, he just, not everybody does something in public. Sunshine, he definitely FaceTime Johnny. He was so happy for him. I think John calls him Bob. All right. Have fun, everybody. Have a great weekend. I have another video coming up Monday. More on the insurance lawsuits. And I'm just trying to do the best I can, treading above water, as they say. I'm going to hang up now. Thank you, everybody. And I so appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.